Hello, Cancer. This is Elijah Keating from wisdomseekers.net. Please go look us up. We have some pretty cool readers and some pretty cool things for sale. Like, for instance, this baby. And it's beautiful. It's a snakeskin agate. So, that all aside, Cancer, let's see what the energy is for you for this month, November. And beautiful. Autumn equinox. And its release. And that has been the name of the game for everybody so far. And you're the fourth one I've read for. Release is the name of the game. So let's start with some release and see what the energy has to say for you. And there we go. There. Okay. First card is the Judgment card. And in the past, the Judgment has been not necessarily such a positive card, but nowadays, now that we're doing we're moving from one Piscean age into the Aquarian age, it has changed its meaning a little bit. And as you can see in this card, the Pied Piper is piping the people into the light. Well, symbolically, that's getting people to become aware that their truth has been hidden from them for many, many eons. And they're becoming aware on a higher level of understanding, a higher spiritual level. So we're releasing the old negative and we're pulling in the new positive. And that's it for November. That would be awesome. But then we get the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is a card of being patient. Not long-term patient. It's actually not at all. But there are things happening in your life, and you may or may not be aware of them, but they are changing or shifting the outcome of what's going to happen for you. And we all have hopes and dreams. Be patient because you're learning more. Things are happening behind the scenes, so your outcome may definitely be different than what you have been wanting. So this is the Four of Pentacles, and this is a card of rigidity. Rigidity is usually fear-based because you're afraid to move, afraid to do anything. It's being really cheap with my money. And of course people have been feeling that way for a long time because money does not flow. I do believe it's starting to flow and should be shifting and flowing much, much more than it is. I'm really hoping. And this is Two of Wands, and it's time for a change. It's time to shift things up, which is because you're becoming aware. It's time to let old habits die or leave them behind. You can't let them die because they are a part of who you are. So it is an and scenario. You are maybe a little afraid to move, but you have the courage to move. So from moving from fear and rigidity, you move forward into I can do it, I can do it. So it's and. So the Two of Wands is a card of suggesting that it's time to shake up your life. It's time to shift. It's time to move to a higher vibration and believe in the impossible. Don't fall into depression. This Nine of Swords, and so that is a potential. It's not what's going to happen. That is a potential. Because this is for you, it is a huge shift. The cards aren't all that exciting or anything, but the fact that it started out with a major arcana of Judgment, which is calling you into the light, means you have to let go of old ideas. And that can be scary, and it can throw people into uncomfortable spaces for a while. Instead, allow it to take you and lift you up and heal. New knowledge That's what we're looking for, is new knowledge. Will free you. When you learn something new, it takes a little while for it to become cellular knowledge, but when you learn something new, it will take you up, and it will create a healing within you. Knowledge is healing, and knowledge is always going to be healing. One more card. Okay, this is a positive one. 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is a card of family or generations. And it may not be the generation that you're living with right now, considering that you've come from a space of rigidity, and there's a little, you could bounce into the Nine of Swords or fear. But the family that has passed on, that has moved on, your guides, your angels, your ancestors, they do support you, and they support you hugely. And with you, notice you have three money cards. Two of them are sort of wishy-washy, but the third one is very positive. So if you move, if you allow yourself to heal, and don't fall into the depression card, or even if you fall into the depression card but you get yourself out of it, look for more money coming your way. So this is all about releasing that which no longer serves you. And with you look at things honestly, you will know which is good for you and which is not. All right, let's go this. And what it will take you to is childhood. It will take you back to the innocence of youth. And is that good or bad? It's so much simpler if we don't, if we feel life as a child. And a happy, innocent child is what I'm talking about. There are children nowadays that are just too worldly wise for their own good, and they miss out so much on a decent childhood. Go back to your childhood. Go back to the parts where you got to play in the dusk, just before it became dark and your mom hasn't called you in yet. And you get to sleep in a warm bed, or you get to hear that wonderful story that somebody's telling you about their childhood. Go back to the innocence. And if you haven't been there, then go find it, because that is where you want to be. The innocence of childhood. Because if you didn't have it, then you need to do it. There's nothing you can miss out on this life. You need it all. Namaste. Namasko.